a busy day on the narrow gauge railway. Mr. Percival had closed the line early due to a threat of a cold frost in the forecast. All the engines were tucked away in their sheds. Skarloey and Rheneas were returning from the incline after helping Peter Sam with an important shipment of slate destined for Vickerstown. "I'd see it a pot of cold nights like this, but not like this one. At least we're safe inside our sheds." Skarloey had to agree with his friend, and soon everyone was fast asleep. Smudger, who had been rescued a few years ago from the old Mid-Sodor line, had a dream he wished didn't happen in the first place. "We've come to buy the engines," a rail enthusiast said to the Mid-Sodor controller. All were interested in Stewart and Falcon. Sadly, none of them inquired about Duke, as they thought of him to be, in their words, too old. "We promised to be together again. Then you can keep us in order." Both engines set off for their new home, with the remaining rolling stock behind. Duke's driver and fireman oiled and greased him one last time. They sheeted him snugly into the shed and said their goodbyes, shutting the shed doors. We all know what happened to Duke in the end. However, Smudger, who was never noticed or acknowledged by the enthusiast, as he had been converted into a generator behind the shed for riding the rails too roughly and causing confusion and delay. "At least I have myself for some company," he said smugly. But as time passed, the weather changed. The line was soon overgrown with grass and branches. Smudger could not help but think that something was off, with rocks starting to fall from the mountains. One of them landed on top of the shed where Smudger was planted. Then suddenly, a larger rock fell from the mountains, and then silence. Smudger awoke with a start, gasping for air. Duke noticed this. "Nightmare?" Duke inquired to Smudger, tears welling within his eyes. A saddening look on his face. Duke understood and knew what Smudger was trying to say. The old MSR number 2 had a nightmare of what would have happened had he had not been saved by the Skarloey Railway. Although I'm sure Smudger appreciated and is thankful for a second chance at being really useful. Don't you?